Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network. Presented by Patriot Patch Company and Camerado.com. How's everybody tonight?
Doing good.
Good.
Cute picture, noisy girl.
Oh, sorry. I'm unmounting scopes from a plethora of firearms. Fun.
You almost got your scope back sooner.
Oh, I know where you live.
Whoa, that's weird. I guess I don't have the rumble muted. There we go. Oops. I was hearing the rumble in the background. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was hearing the rumble in the background. I'm like, what the heck?
Me or you?
Me.
Oh.
So I was figuring that out. That's why I was silent for a second. Because I set up the computer in here. But hadn't really run it on here. So I hadn't had Rumble muted. Anyway, but I met up with Ray for lunch yesterday.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't know he was going to be swinging through, or it had taken the scope to work and a bunch of other stuff. But
our Ray.
Yes.
Oh.
Our Ray. He was up in Oshkosh B'gosh doing a inspection. So he gave me a holler about an hour before he came rolling through to tell me that he was coming through and he wanted to meet up for lunch. So he and I grabbed a burger.
Oh, burger sounds good.
But yeah, if I'd have known he was coming, I'd have grabbed the scope and sent it with him. Unfortunately, I did not. So, but I did go shoesting.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And successful?
Yeah. Kind of.
Okay.
I went shooting Sunday, and I took the Garmin and the Rangecraft back out. I'll kind of tell you all about this when we get to that point, but yeah. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, it was, typical 4th of July. And, family and everybody else coming by and, saying hello and, usual, burgers, hot dogs, Italian sausage and bratwurst and that kind of stuff. And, yeah, not bad. Baby got to go swimming for the first time.
Aw.
That's always fun.
Yep. He ain't too sure if he liked it or not, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So.
Congratulations, Chris. And howdy, Wesley?
Wow, Chris, that's great. That is nice. Moving to a real state. Now you can own all them fun things that you can't own in New York, you know, AR-15s and suppressors and all that other stuff. That's nice.
Exactly.
Yep. Freedom's finally going to ring. And you got to say hello to Clifford and Russ and Wesley. And you got to say hello to Clifford and Russ. Oh.
It's so good, Sharon decided you had to do it twice.
Yeah. How am I getting?
Yeah, sorry, got trying to transfer data over to this new phone. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Sharon is playing with technology today.
She's trying to. I think she's just gonna give it up and find some teenager to come do it for me. That's where I'm at right now. Just lazy. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm still recovering from being stranded in Texas and Arizona, so
Oh.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Not fun.
you know, when I got to Arizona, it was fun. So I had to escape Texas. Waited out in Arizona, which wasn't bad because I had a pool, drink, and food at my disposal.
Nice. I will be right back. I just remembered I didn't shut the doggy door. I gotta go shut that quick.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back.
All right. So what's new?
With me, other than I finally have a phone that's gonna work, and wrapping up my Go Wild Women's weekend and getting ready to ship all these loaner products I got back from all the awesome companies that sponsored our shooting events. So shout out to Savage, Alpine Optics, Vortex, Gunfighters, Gun Oil, and Ignis Coffee.
Wow.
I know Late the Gun Shop, they were my heroes for that weekend.
So you had a whole bunch of Savage rifles I saw in your post that you had to mount scopes on.
I did. I had like 14 rifles, and it was like amazing. It was like a kid in a candy store, and got to test drive all of them.
He was playing with my torch out there, getting something burned.
You get to shoot all of them?
No, would you? Okay, so here's
been cooler to do with gunpowder.
I didn't get to shoot any of them.
Oh, okay.
I said it'd been cooler to do with gunpowder.
I was so busy making sure that the ladies got to experience the firearms, mount the scopes, mother henning them, that I neglected myself. So I'll have to remedy that next week. Yeah. And I got to give a big thank you to Sentinel Concepts too, Steve Fisher. He drove all the way down from Michigan to come teach our foundational introduction to long range shooting class.
Nice.
So big special thank you to him.
Oh, nice.
It was hot too.
Put his information in the Facebook chat, Sharonda. And then I'll put his information in the show notes for his place in Michigan.
He travels. He doesn't have a set place. He travels the country.
Oh, well then for his contact information.
Will do. Hold on, let me get the chat. But
hey, did Julie Gallo
I did
get
have a great time. She didn't, but she has access to.
Then you should get a hold of her because she started a new podcast, and you should get on it.
I didn't know that. She probably don't want my little bitty nobody self on there.
Oh, she does too. Julie's pretty awesome.
She is. I actually follow her, and
she used to be. She used to have a show on this network.
She sure did. And then I think
Randy Rogers, Gun Girl Radio.
Yeah, I think her daughter got ill, and she's didn't retire, but stepped back a little bit from shooting sports. Yeah.
Yep. So, Paul, I think I lost some data on this.
What?
On the Rangecraft.
Mike, I got some coffee for you too.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'll get it to you when I get my sculpt back. I'm just kidding. I
don't blame you.
I'll send you the coffee.
I think that's fair.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well, somebody should. So I pulled up video from the range, Paul.
Yes.
And I'm looking. And it's showing a speed of 1098.3. And I just went through everything on the Athlon. I don't have a speed like that.
No, all the 40 grain stuff is missing. So I didn't compare those two. The 40 grain was missing on that. We got the 36 and we got the 55. And
now I just did an update on it now, so
okay.
So we'll have to see if it's better then. Now I gotta go out again. Oh, damn. Tragedy. Yeah, that would have been one of the 40 grainers.
Yeah.
So. But. So. Wow. Daryl, that's a interesting question. So Daryl wants to know where he could find a study on the effectiveness of frangible bullets used by LAPD. The inventor, patent holder, is an acquaintance in my hometown. I'm just curious. I guess first, do you have proof that LAPD is using frangible bullets? And is it department-wide?
Yeah, because a lot of cops don't, police departments, not cops, police departments don't want to use a frangible bullet because of
Lack of penetration.
lack of penetration. If you're not getting that, at least 12 inches, you could be in trouble. And now the old Corbon, the blue tip bullets with the liquid and the pellets in it, they mushroom really well, but they still had enough lead in them to hold up and give you penetration. Plus, they were hotter than shit. You were a 9mm was 1,400 feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, frangible ammunition. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm shocked.
According to Police Magazine, LAPD uses hollow point for duty and frangible for training.
Yeah. That would make sense.
For duty ammo, they use Federal Premium Tactical HST.
Yeah, everybody wants to shoot steel plates nowadays, and in a range like conditions that people have to shoot in, frangible bullets on steel plates are preferred.
Yeah. To my knowledge, the only law enforcement agency that was actually using frangible ammo in a quote tactical type situation was the air marshals, for obvious reasons. Because you don't want Rick O'Shea on an airplane.
They could. I mean, that's.
But that's also 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the only place that I know that uses it and its required use is if you go to Clint Smith's range and take his courses. You're required to use a frangible ammunition there.
Yeah, most indoor ranges, heavy duty use indoor ranges are frangible ammo too.
So, yeah, but yeah, I question
with a hot glue gun and some brass shavings, you could make your own frangible ammo.
Yeah, just
kidding.
Open that mold up.
Don't try it.
Squirt some in and add the pellets to it as you go.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is going to be a shorter show because damn it, Billy, you would try it. I mean, for flat out, it's not good for use. I don't know if Lucky Gunner did a gel test on frangible too. That'd be interesting to see.
As frangible as I want to get is a 50 grain bullet out of a 223 inside the house. Okay.
Right.
That's as frangible as I want to get. Problem with things like, the varmint grenades and all that kind of stuff on prairie dogs, that they're very effective at the first 200 yards. After that, they kind of run out of steam. They're too light. They get blown around in the wind too much. So we tend to load heavier bullets at that. Now, the new Hornady 62 and 80 grain ELD-VTs, I'm waiting to see what they do on a prairie dog. Oh, I know you didn't, Billy. It's just been crazy here, so but when you get a chance, send me over the parts list. Like I say, AR-15 inside the house, feel much safer using a 50 grain bullet in it against bad guys. And wish I could own a suppressor here in Illinois to keep it somewhat hearing safe.
It's got to keep ears by you.
Yeah.
By the way, I was looking into that, and it looks like the change in the price won't take effect until January 1st or so.
For what item?
SBS, SBR, and suppressors. The tax,
Oh, gotcha.
the $200 going away.
Yeah. We'll see. They'll milk it as long as they can. They just couldn't make it a standard, form to fill out, and they had to still keep the background checks and everything else like it's a real problem. But then again, our politicians watch too many detective movies and hitman movies. John Wick as one.
I'm looking at gun tests from July 16th of 2012. And they did a frangible test. From Fiocchi and Spear in 9 and 45. And then they also got some center fire in 9, 40, and 45.
Billy, it may read 90 days, but that you got to remember it doesn't go into effect till, what is it, August or something like that. So the bill.
So it's 90 days from publishing in the Federal Register, and it's not being published in the Federal Register till the end of Q2.
Right. And which would put it Q1,
which is basically the end of September.
First quarter. No, wait. They're on June through, aren't they? They're June.
This is considered Q1 for the government.
Right. This is Q1. So end of the second quarter, which would put it
basically 90 days puts it July 1st or January 1st. So
yeah.
So if you count backwards, it's December, November, October.
Yeah. Exactly.
So basically, end of September, beginning of October is when it's going to be published in the Federal Register.
Yeah, New Year's, figure New Year's for it, but you still got to go through the background check. So
you still have to go through the whole
rigmarole, the whole 9 yards,
fingerprints and everything.
Yeah, instead of making it what a 4473.
Yeah.
They still left it, but no tax. So. So it's still there. The NFA is still there, guys. They didn't do anything to it other than remove a $200 tax that is they can put back anytime they want.
Now, here's the fun thing. And this is off the Second Amendment Foundation page. But they issued a joint statement with other groups. I'm looking to see where it says here. So anyway, this is July 3rd. With the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill, which eliminates the excise tax on silencers, SBRs, and SBSs, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and any other weapons or AOWs, the Second Amendment Foundation and its partners have issued a joint statement indicating their intention to challenge the remaining registration requirements for the affected arms under the National Firearms Act as unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So joining SAF are the American Suppressor Association, National Rifle Association, and Firearms Policy Coalition. I also believe that GOA has joined that.
Yeah. And like I say, it's just a stroke of a pen removes the tax, and the stroke of a pen puts it back on. Of course, Schumer won't be there by that time.
Oh, they're filing their own. So GOA is partnering up with Palmetto State Armory, Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition, FRAC, Silencer Shop, and B&T USA they're filing a federal lawsuit as well. So they're going to have 2 lawsuits.
Which, depending upon where they go, they could have them both consolidated and go from there.
That actually isn't probably a bad idea.
But if one goes one end of the country and then goes to the other end of the country, say the 5th district down in Louisiana, and then they do it in, I don't know, South Dakota or someplace like that, then it's in 2 different jurisdictions, and they may be able to keep it separate and get 2 verdicts and be able to then go to the Supreme Court and have them adjudicate the separate verdict and which way to go.
I can't find any freaking videos easily. So there's a lot of comments and everything else out there about using frangible. So
of course, if you look around, you might be able to find some of that old German 308 ammo that had the wooden bullet in it.
578 beta, you would contact the ATF. So, and you better not start any of that until after you get your tax stamp back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some people that recommend not even buying all the materials until you do that. So until you get your tax stamp back. Especially if you're making a freeze plug one.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Oh, 6-pack project. So yeah, they are definitely planning for the long run for this.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me a second. They just signed me out of the podcast email, so I gotta, or Gmail, so I gotta account, so I gotta sign back into that. Paul, I think we're just going to focus on the 5.56 since we've got actual comparable data.
Okay.
All right. Did you send those back to me, Paul?
Yeah. Yep.
What the heck?
2 attachments. You want me to bring it up on screen, or you want look for yours?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. Okay. Can we see that? This is the 556. What I've done here is combined 2 files and marked what each one was, and gave a variation of what the variation in reading is between the 2 conographs. So you can get an idea. The ones in yellow are negatives, and the ones in red are positives. So the negatives would mean, which one is the Athlon, Mike?
The Rangecraft.
The Rangecraft? So we went through the 20 shots that are there. one missed a shot, number 15 on that list, and it only showed 19 shots instead of the 20. And then I found where by comparing the times, and there was a slight delay between one and the other. We're able to come up with this part of the differences and variations. And I'm going to go up, and we look at average speed is 2 feet per second. Power factor, there's a 1. Standard deviation is 3/10. Extreme spread, we show a little bit, but that's because there's that one missing shot that would have made that a difference. Projectile weight and kinetic energy, we see a slight difference there, again, because of the one missing shot. So,
Found it.
As I look at this, I don't think there's much of a problem between the two of them. Go with the cheaper one at this time. I mean, I don't see anything that is making a difference in it, because they're both, one's a plus, one's the next one's a minus and one's a plus. 2 negatives and a plus, a negative, and then 2 pluses, then 2 negatives. As I go through it and I look at it, I'm just sitting there saying, average speed is 2 feet per second difference overall, over all of them. So, yeah, accuracy wise, I don't see it. The only thing that bothers me is a missing shot. That's the only thing that would bother me on this.
So the only thing I can think of is maybe I was starting to shoot a little faster. I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't know. But the next time I go out, I will be taking the magneto speed.
All right, so we can put a third column up and have the magneto speed give us a reading from there as a real check to it. Okay. Now, I also have the 22 rifle with the 36 grain bullet. And again, we've had 3 missing shots in here between that and again, by timestamp is how I was able to figure that out, which is really nice, having the timestamp in your shot string, because you can compare. If you got 2 of them going, you can compare where they're at, and based upon the first shot, you can see where there's a difference in the time. And the more accurate the time, the more accurate the radar is going to be, because they all run off of a computer clock inside there. There's a chip in there that runs that that tells it how fast the bullet is moving.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the speed of the chip is what, and the accuracy of the clock that's in there, it makes a difference. So, as we look at the difference with 10 rounds, we're at 1234 in average speed versus 1239. Power factors are, right there. Standard deviation is 9/10. The extreme spread, 2 point, 1.5 is the extreme spread. Kinetic energy, yeah. So again, the three missing shots. But as we look at the variations in readings, we're seeing a little bit different thing going on here as far as the calculations going on, that it's showing a lot more consistency on the first one.
It's kind of interesting that on the 36 grainers, we wound up missing 3 Garmin and no Athlon.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got to the 40 grains, there was a crap ton of issues with the
Athlon.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I literally just did a software update. So, and that warning popped up when it was in the middle of things. So I'm wondering if maybe that caused part of the issue.
Okay. That could be.
So, I mean, I've definitely got more testing to do. And the other problem I've got is my camera the time wasn't set right.
Okay.
So
now, some of the people with the Rangecraft were sitting there saying that they were having problems reading shots when they did the update. I noticed that when I was reading about but they said that it should have been taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Don't know.
I don't have an airsoft gun in here. I can't tell you.
Well, Ray, if you're there.
Oh, that's Nick.
Oh, that's Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's down in Texas. That's right. Daryl, we haven't tested.
We don't have an honest answer for that yet.
Yeah, we don't have an honest answer for the. Now, it did pick up 556, which is 224, so it did pick those up. So we're not seeing a problem in the higher velocities. So I would think the 20s would be able to be read. But we need to check it with the magneto speed to really get a good honest reading out of all of it.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and I'm actually deleting everything out of both units. So
Okay.
I start completely fresh.
Okay.
When I go out again. I might sneak out Friday. Or Monday. Or possibly Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Because I'm off. I took a Friday off because I'm off Monday and Tuesday for fair.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Um,
I thought you weren't gonna. I thought you weren't gonna do the fair this year.
This is hopefully my last year.
Okay.
I told them I want to be done, but I told them that they need to find somebody for me, but I'm not going to leave them high and dry.
Okay.
So they're working on trying to find somebody for me, but they haven't yet.
Okay.
So as soon as they do, then I'm done.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to work this one though.
Yep.
Okay. So depending upon who we get, that week, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. So I will not be here next Tuesday.
Okay, it's next Tuesday, and right now I'll probably be running the show, and with Mike's great influence, and hopefully we will have Nick and Ray and Jim. And
I'll see if I'll reach out and see about Chris.
Okay.
If he can join. So.
Yeah.
So Billy said Tom and I both had our Athlon set up when we were shooting our Ruger Mark IVs with 40 grains, and we had no issues on it, reading on either unit, just to add to the confusion. Now, Billy, were you shooting over the top of, or were you off to the side? That's what I'm wondering also, because I literally had the gun in between the two units. So,
So you had them what, like 15 inches back and 10 inches off to each side?
No.
No. Okay.
That's the max.
Okay.
That's kind of the max is what they're looking for there.
He says to the side.
Yep.
So, all right.
Oh, I saw they were on top of bog death grips. Okay.
Oh, Nick won't be on next week. Okay.
All right then. I see how you are.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So I wonder if you have to manually delete the data off both units. It's kind of looking that way.
You have to go through each individual shot and delete it? You can't delete the strings?
That's what it's looking like.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, let's find out. Yep. That is some high quality bullshit right there.
Having to go through and delete each individual shot, and you can't delete full strings. Okay.
Well, you can delete your session.
Okay.
Not each individual shot.
Okay.
Ed, it doesn't delete them, it just stores them.
It doesn't delete, it just stores.
Yeah, so you have to go through and literally by manual delete all your sessions. Oh, this is bullshnikes.
Yeah.
Fix yourselves, you're better than this. What's the frickin' point of the app? Whee! Wow, that's painful. Yeah. Wow. That is painful.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What the hell? That's the Athlon, and that's the 40 grain.
Okay.
— 70 shots, average 1108, standard deviation of 664.2.
And
extreme spread of 244.4. Yeah. Huh. Weird.
36 grain.
So I'm going to delete everything else.
And okay.
See if I can.
Just so the guys know that this is what I got. And this is the way it came to me. No shots, no nothing.
No, nothing. And I even tried to send it twice before.
Yeah. So
Hmm. Weird, that's not showing up.
So there may be some issue, but the Garmin did the same thing. So, and the price point is pointing me and probably a lot of people here towards the Athlon.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll show up on here. I just can't get it to go over there. Maybe if I delete the device and
I don't know, Cliff. I don't know what Purple Crown. Are you on? Yeah, you're. Let me take a look there. Yeah.
Okay, so I deleted the device and re-added it.
I'm not getting the same thing, Cliff. Now we do have a rolling script that follows what you guys type in.
On his phone on YouTube?
Yeah.
Hmm. There you go, Paul. Now you can have it. Here, Ricky. Interesting.
Okay. Wow. You put 70 rounds downrange with that, huh? Yeah.
I don't know what the points are for. Interesting. So congratulations, Clifford. You're a top fan currently.
There you go.
Sweet. Brewers rookie is dealing again. He's got 12 strikeouts through 5 innings against the Dodgers.
Oh, wow.
He's made a nice recovery from getting blasted the other night. Anyway, so basically, you know, still kind of of the opinion that at this point in time, Athmon.
Yeah. I agree. And there may just be a few things that need to get fixed in the app and the update.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would definitely go with the Aslan at this point.
I think the other thing I'm going to do is maybe Look at bringing a sandbag.
Okay.
If I can remember where the hell it is. I'm gonna put the gun on a sandbag sitting in between the two,
Okay.
as opposed to just resting it on, using my hand and elbow on the bench.
Okay.
So they're more consistent. If I had taller tripods, see, I've got one.
Mm-hmm.
I get this one, which would be high enough. That one would be high enough to get it up. To get one of them up, but not both. So if I had another one, I could do that. But I'm not going to drag a freaking full-size tripod up to that point. So.
True.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll look on Amazon and see if I can find a matching pair of taller tripods to put them on.
Well, how thick is your bench?
Why, are you thinking something you can clamp on it, or?
Yeah. If they aren't too, if they're normal 2x4 thickness or whatever,
It's got beyond.
Okay.
So it's not really something you can clamp onto.
All right.
The way it's built. Yeah, the easier way would just be find 2 tripods on Amazon. So
2 medium tripods. Not.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got like 12-inch tripods for cheap.
Yeah. Because I have a camera stand that I use that's adjustable, that I can clamp onto a bench and start at about 12 inches and go up to about 3 feet. So yeah.
Yep, here we go. 6 to 12 inch. $8.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure there's other options on here too. I'll take a couple seconds and look. So, but standard 1/4-20.
Right. Yeah.
So comes with a free phone holder too. So nice.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, I want to give a shout out to Ray for buying me lunch on Monday. That was nice and very pleasant surprise to be able to meet up with Ray for lunch.
Yeah. That's cool.
So it was very cool. Shout out to Paul for his work on the spreadsheets. That was pretty awesome.
Hey.
Shout out to my kid for helping me get my dresser back into the reloading room, and then I got the part of it set back up. So
nice to have your room back, isn't it?
It'll be nice when it's effing organized. And the totes that are over in storage make it back over here. And I go through them. And I get that shit show organized.
Uh-huh.
So, Costco's got 3 totes for like $7 or $8, which I'm going to go buy. And then I can take and separate that shit out and put it into totes. So, because it's just all over the effing place. It's a giant shit show. So I can find stuff. Yeah, it'll be nice when it's all done.
Those are, those totes are nice, but I've been dealing with those MTM ammo crates. Have you ever seen those? They're not. Hang on a sec.
Okay. Oof. So yeah, I'll make it back up to the range again and test them out again.
These are those ammo crates. They're more money. They're not as cheap, but you can they hold MTM boxes well in them. 3 different sizes, 3 different heights, but they're all the same size and they lock together. So
yeah. Well, the reason I'm thinking those totes is because they'll fit on the shelves nice and they're clear.
Yeah.
So I can see what's in it easier.
Yeah.
So
I just
so
like
yeah, those are nice.
Like these because I can load it up and take it to the range and
yeah, most of the stuff I'm gonna be putting in this stuff is not gonna be ranged. It's like I've got what the hell's a box called doing over there? But I've got loading blocks of mistake ammo and bullets here, there, everywhere. Freaking magazine, brass, more brass, more brass, dyes, funnel kit, primer, more bullets, freaking laptop, a scale, another digital scale, like quick trim. Yeah, it's just all sorts of random crap all over the place. So
I got a bunch of these for brass.
Nice.
And they're deep, have a big lid on them, and I think I got them on Amazon. I think they're like, oh geez, $4 or $5. Wait a minute, there were $12 for 5, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
So
nice. Yeah, I just got so much stuff all over the place. I've got a bunch of acro bins that are all filled with oddball stuff just because I needed somewhere to stick something because it was on to the next project for an episode.
Same, acro bins hold junk, and the nice thing about them is they're open, so you can keep loading up stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I found that by switching to Peterson and Alpha Brass is they give you a nice box to put all your brass in.
Nice.
Peterson comes in a 50-round box.
Okay.
And Alpha 100 rounds.
Nice.
So it saves you the money, even though they are expensive compared to normal brass. It saves you the money of going out and buying MTM boxes and all that kind of stuff to put it in.
Right.
So we'll have to do a storage podcast.
Yeah. Definitely. So.
If you have, AR-15 mags, MTM makes a case that holds like 15 of them or something like that. And yeah, let's
nice.
see. Yeah.
So the same boxes that Peterson gives you, Cabela's has, and Dillon sells. Yeah, they're basically MTM boxes.
Right.
So, but
yeah.
Hi JT. So, what you looking for?
This is this one is their it's a 911, a 1911 box, and where is it? They can get you this here. So you can get this box here.
I think Ken's got one of those.
It holds
for his Glock mags.
Yeah, this one holds 2, 4, 5, 10 double stack mags and 10 30 round AR mags. But
nice.
they make it so it would be all AR-15 mags and that kind of stuff, and there's quite a few. I have one that holds 308 mags, and
nice.
Yeah.
JT, the consensus at this current point in time is if you have to make a decision on one right now, get the Athlon because it's cheaper. As far as the grand scheme of things, we don't have enough of a. Well, you just had the foam insert.
Right.
So it looks like it maybe signed to go into there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically there isn't a consensus at this point in time. They both had issues. They both were dropping data. Had a really goofy thing where one of the things didn't show up at all on Athlon until after I did the update. Now it does. So I'm going to go do some more testing. Next time I go out, I'm taking the magneto speed width and putting that on the barrel so I can get an actual speed to compare it with and see which one's more accurate consistently. So, but they're pretty close to each other. At this point in time, Athlon is, considerably less money. So that's kind of where the thought process is on that. So, any rate, you got any shout outs, Paul?
No shout outs this week. I'm I'm waiting for some stuff to come in so I can start loading some 223 up. Some more powder coming in. I'm running low on powder, guys. If you got any extra, send it this way.
Yeah. I don't think I have any powder you can use. So I got something in the mail yesterday. Haven't even got a chance to open it yet. So
Wow.
Noble Knives.
Ooh.
Check them out. Facebook. Makes good stuff. Even got a sheath for it. So
Nice.
too nice to carry, because if I carry it, there's a chance I might have to stabby somebody. I don't know. I'm going to mute this for a second so I don't annoy everybody like Jim does.
Okay. So
there we go. So we have the brand spanking new hot off the presses patch of the month for July. Do not tread. Look at that bad boy.
yeah.
Got a claymore at the bottom. So, and then here's Ryan's rough draft. So, as you're looking at the sticker, got a claymore at the bottom with a AK, and it looks like a short-barreled AR. Can't tell if it's supposed to be a pistol or not. And then I can't tell what the snake's supposed to be. Obviously, it's a viper of some sort, but I don't know what it's supposed to.
Well, it's
my guess is
the rattlesnake out of the Gadsden flag.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's the new patch. So another awesome job by Jake and Ryan over at Patriot Patch Company. If you want to become a Patch of the Month Club member and you want to support the show, go to firearmsradio.net/category/podcast/reloading-2 and click on the support the show and then select the Patch of the Month Club Patreon level. Otherwise, while you're at our homepage over on firearmsradio.net, you can click on the buy our merch and you can get a shirt like that fancy one Paul's got, or you can get a tumbler like I got. So, it's empty. Phooey.
You're on the giant size mugs today, huh?
Oh, yeah. So, hello, Echoes Reloading Chamber. Just wrapping up the show. So, having kind of a shorter one tonight. But, also, I haven't actually showed off Sean's stuff in a while. So, let's go over there. CAMAROD, or CAMORADO.com. So this is, Sean created this original camo pattern. And then, which is the Warden. And so he's got a bunch of different options. So Warden, Raider, Sunspear, Basilisk, and Night's Watch were the original 5. And since then, he's come out with Merc, Scout, Ember Storm. Radical, Winterfell, Highgarden, Nightshade. So I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he's a regular contributor in the chat on We Like Shooting. But at GunCon, he was wearing the Highgarden, and it looked sharp, actually, on even a guy. And this is the partner patterns. You've got Sea Smoke with the Gun Collective, Pewty Fruity with CloverTac, Shell Shock, and then you've got Ghost Hunter with CloverTac. Ghost Hunter is reasonably new. It's definitely some cool stuff. Make lots of different options for clothing. It does run a little small, so if you're going to order big. I've actually got the Basilisk Big Luau. I've got the Warden pajama pants. Those things have been probably washed at least 150 times, 200 times, and they aren't pilling, so they hold up well. You got a hockey jersey, your Hoochie Daddy shorts, puffer jacket, hooded shunted shirt, which some people were rocking at range day in different camo patterns. And then they came out with a big luau with a pocket. So and Nightshade is another one. So this is Nightshade is tribute to the Domestic Violence Prevention Month. It's listed in the patterns, but it doesn't show up on the main page, so you got to look for it. So this is Scout, which is inspired by the legendary Selous, however you say it, Scouts. And you'll notice that pretty much everything is pretty much the same as far as your options for your clothing. So some of it's 2 extra small to 6 extra large. Some of it's only small to 3XL, depending on the styles and stuff. So, but good stuff. Use coupon code RELOAD at checkout to save 5%. Why would it sound odd? Billy, you goofball. It wouldn't be odd. Definitely stand out. So anyway, so that kind of wraps that up. Thanks to everybody that continues to support the show. Thanks to everybody that supports the network by supporting other shows too. Thanks to everybody that came to GunCon. It was cool seeing some people. On that note, gang, keep your brass shiny.
Grandpa said, don't listen to your mama. Violence does solve problems.
Support the Second Amendment. You can do that many ways. You can do it by funding the various organizations that are bringing lawsuits. You can do that by, heck, go buy something. Because you're supporting the Second Amendment that way through the Pittman-Robertson Act. Plus, buying guns and ammo is sweet. And reloading stuff is sweet. So, but one of the best things to do is get involved with your local or state organizations and national organizations. I can't tell you yes or no what to support. I can tell you if you are a life member of the NRA, keep on them. They're getting better. They seem to have a good direction now. So, but if you're a life member, keep on them. It's your organization. So, Keep demanding change. It's getting there, but otherwise, make sure you're paying attention to your local, state, and local being city, county, town, board, village, whatever you local is, and your county board, because they like to change zoning. And that's how they get rid of things that they don't like, is they change the zoning. And all of a sudden, what was zoned as something where it can be there, all of a sudden it's now changed on the zoning and it can't be there anymore. So, second thing, make sure you're calling your elected representatives at the federal level and telling them what you think. And make sure that you're looking around now for somebody that's going to be pro-gun. I am simply a Second Amendment voter. I don't care about anything else anymore. Nothing else matters. It's all just a smoke show. If they keep chipping away at the second, eventually they're going to get to the point where they can just do what the hell they want. The reason the second's there is to protect everything else. And that's why they put it second. The most important one was the freedom of speech, freedom of religion. The second most important is to have firearms and weapons to keep the government in line. So if you're struggling mentally, there's help out there. Reach out. Walk the Talk America is a good place to go. Otherwise, most of your businesses nowadays have an EAP program of some sort. Check with your HR and see. But if you're really struggling, 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Keep fighting the good fight. And we want you here. We need you here. And take somebody shooting. It's the best thing you can do is get more people involved in shooting, get more people involved in reloading. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.